which reads as follows: analyze two factors which could have contributed to the creation of collateralized debt obligations. Of course, collateralized debt obligations, you need to look at my video that I had done on collateralized debt obligations, especially more so under asset-backed securities. You need to look at that video so that you can be able to get an understanding of how CDOs actually work. I remember that I had given an example of the Eurobond, which was issued some time back right over there. Please click on that video and you can be able to also get some useful insights in terms of the understanding of CDOs right there. However, we will just jump through and list the factors which have contributed to the creation of collateralized debt obligations. The first one is because it could be an arbitrage driven, so we can say B right over there. We can say in an arbitrage.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness.
The motivation is to create.
I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patent being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast like a roast. I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you are behind the exterior inferior. You know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Collateral refers to the underlying. That is, they're asking for two factors, so that is an arbitrage driven. What about what we can say a balance sheet driven? There are two types. Please look at that video we had mentioned about the arbitrage driven and collateralized debt obligation, and we also talked about the balance sheet driven. Second one, in a balance sheet driven,
I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go. Make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it. I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages of vacant.
From the balance sheet.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Of course, through the process of securitization.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough,
try and remove the receivables from the balance sheet and try and issue securities backed by those. Please look at my video on asset-backed securities, and actually explain the process of securitization very clearly there. So those are the two reasons that the examiner wanted us to look at, and we can be able to move on and look at part B part 2, which reads as follows: highlight 3 economic advantages of using a synthetic collateralized debt obligation structure compared to a cash CDO structure there. So we can be able to provide that an answer to that. So the advantages include number 1, so B part 2, and that number 1, we say the ramp up phase is usually short. I'll explain. The ramp up phase is usually shorter. The ramp up phase is the phase between 1 and about 5 months, from 0 to about 5 months, where the portfolio manager tries and formulates the portfolio Of course, we're saying when formulation of the portfolio is concerned, you need to try and assess the asset classes that are available, the investment policy statement, and what are the objectives and constraints in light of the investment policy statement, and the asset classes which I had already mentioned before also need to be considered. This is where now the portfolio construction takes shape over here, and this period which you're saying is the ramp up phase. So if the ramp up phase is short, then you're saying that provides an advantage more so to a synthetic CDO, which means that it wastes no time in terms of earning some element of return right there. Especially more so from the investor's perspective, they start earning as soon as probably maybe after 5 months like that, once you've actually considered investing in the CDO or in the collateralized debt obligation itself there. Number 2, we can say that it is cheaper to acquire exposure through a credit default swap. It is cheaper to acquire exposure through a credit default swap. Through a credit default swap instead of buying the underlying asset. Instead of buying the underlying asset. The underlying asset. That. Number 3, we can say, because they're asking for 3 economic advantages of using a synthetic CDO, we can say the senior tranche, or rather the synthetic CDO, or collateralized debt obligation has a senior and junior tranche, then the senior tranche does not, and the senior tranche does not require funding. Does not require funding. Does not require funding. Does not require funding. Meaning that in terms of creation of these tranches like that, please look at my video for asset-backed securities. We are saying that this senior tranche does not require funding because they've actually considered investing in the high yield bonds. What you're saying, the junk bonds right over there. These are the ones which are high yield bonds or high return. They provide higher returns as compared to the junior tranches right over there. So this, we are saying that the synthetic CDO has a senior and a junior tranche over there, and the senior tranche does not require funding. The one that requires funding, because this one is always guaranteed, the ones that require funding are these subordinate tranches over there, or what we are calling the junior tranches over there. That gives an advantage in the sense that trying to raise capital from the senior tranche does not pose a significant challenge as compared to the junior tranches right over there. As well, we're also saying that when they receive the principal and interest payments, the priority rules state that the senior tranches must receive first, and then the junior tranches are compensated much later on. So those are the advantages of creating a synthetic CDO right over there. Please, for more insight, please look at my video on CDOs. You will be able to get useful insights as well.